Imagine accepting what looks like a normal Uber request, driving to the pickup point, and realizing too late that the passengers may have had a completely different plan. That is the disturbing situation involving a female Uber driver who was reportedly robbed by two men after she arrived to collect them. The alleged robbery was captured on camera, making the incident even more shocking. She had simply responded to a ride request, expecting to pick up passengers and continue with her day. But instead, the situation reportedly turned into a terrifying encounter.
Ngihamba kanjani dadewethu? Ngihamba kanjani? Dadewethu lapha sekuyinkunzi lapha yethu. Sekuyinkunzi khona lapha yethu. Sekuyinkunzi khona lapha awusakhulumi lutho, sokukhuluma mina yes. Baningi labantu ungathakula nkinga, Ikamera yakho le isunwayo, futhi sekuyinkunzi lapha yethu. Ingaphenye ifoni yenza fast, ingaphenye ifoni. Eyinye futhi khona mkhulu wakho nophatha ifoni eyi-1 njani wena mphiti wakho. Makuza buhambe futhi ungasibheki. Njengoba umpopho wakho lo ubambe kahle.
What makes this story so frightening is the alleged deception. The men reportedly requested the ride, waited for the driver to arrive, and then allegedly targeted her. And as the footage spreads online, people are asking one painful question: how can drivers protect themselves when the very people requesting their service could be the danger? This is a serious warning for every ride-hailing driver. Stay alert, trust your instincts, and never ignore a situation that feels wrong, because one ordinary ride request can change everything in seconds.
Some mine workers in Marikana in the northwest say 16 August brings painful memories. This follows the tragedy that occurred 14 years ago to the day, where 34 mine workers were killed by police. Mine workers say government has not done enough to honour the day, while their working conditions continue to remain unbearable. Others are calling for 16th August to be declared a public holiday and the official date for Workers' Day. Newsroom Africa's Refuwe Sibuku joins us from Marikana. Refuwe, good to speak to you. Now, from that intro, there are obviously multiple issues that are concerning members of this mining community. Just walk us through what's most topical and what we can expect from some of the proceedings today.
Good afternoon, Hugo, together with our viewers. Well, like you highlighted, quite a couple of things that are still outstanding. Among others, the conversation that had been going around declaring the 16th of August a holiday, a public holiday, but not only that, declared an official Workers' Day. And these are the conversations that are going with regards to commemorating the Marikana massacre. 14 years since the shooting that happened on the 16th of August 2012. Among others is the issues of ensuring health and safety measures, like you indicated, that mine workers are pleading with government to ensure that there is health and security measures that are put in place. There's also a discussion around justice, with regards to the families of the deceased, the mine workers also, getting justice with regards to what happened here at the Kopi in Marikana. And right now what is happening is that we are seeing a number of people that are coming in, festivities that are happening here, the singing and dancing earlier on when we were engaging with some of the mine workers and the former mine workers are saying that this is part of, as much as it is a painful day, or rather it is a day that reminds them the tragic incident that happened 14 years ago, they're also trying moments to celebrate in songs and dance. The famous Kopi, we are seeing a number of people that are sitting there at the Kopi, which is a place where some are considering it to be a very sacred space because of what happened here. But like you indicated, that there's still a call in terms of ensuring the safety of mine workers and, the government ensuring that they are enforcing, the issue of ensuring safety and health measures that are put in place for those that are still working. And as we are seeing other people also coming in, as the official program is yet to begin. In fact, so far we have not even seen any, performances in terms of artists that are going to perform here today. Normally in previous commemorations, we saw that at around this time there has been performances in the official program before the president of AMCU, Joseph Matunja, is yet to speak. But I want us to listen to some of the workers that we spoke to earlier on with regards to what is it that's still outstanding with regards to their call as mine workers. Hugo.
Today we came to commemorate those workers who had died and on this copy. But as from 2013, it's better now. When you enter Marikana, you don't feel so much pain like you used to feel on the 2013 first commemoration. Again, to the widows of Marikana, we are still saying we are your voice as AMCU. And again to the children, we are your future. And again to the community, we will never forget you.
In the pit, where we are working, but in the offices there is a lot of changes. But on our side, we are still having a problem there and there. But normally we are working in the dust area, whereby we work under the situation whereby there is no changes actually, being honest with you, ma'am. Even the area we are working at, sometimes there is falling rocks, and then whereby there is no safety at all.
We plead to the government at least to at least to put more effort when coming to safety, so that at least we are working safe. And then again, because we are here for the families, for the people we left at home, so that we get remunerated in a better way, where we can afford at least the living in general.
And speaking about the widows of those that were shot by the police in 2012, we saw some of them coming in, whom they will be attending this 14th commemoration of the Marikana massacre. And Hugo, as you try to engage with them, you can sense a feel of exhaustion, of wanting to speak about that incident, wanting to speak about going back to how it affected them and how life has been for them and their children 14 years down the line since that incident, the tragic incident that claimed the lives of breadwinners to some families. And we saw that there were lawyers that were, taking this matter forward with regards to standing for the survivors, the victims, or the families of the victims, and also the conversation around whether justice has been served for these, families of the victims and the survivors of the Marikana massacre. Let's listen in to Andries Nkome, the lawyer for representing survivors of the massacre, with regards to the engagement that they have had with NPA in ensuring that there is justice.
We have had several meetings with the prosecution authority to see that it was live on TV. People far and wide could see the police taking aim and firing at people that were trying literally to rush home. And for that reason, we are saying we still need to push and make sure that there is justice for those people that are involved. I agree with you that there has been very little insofar as criminal prosecution of the police authorities is concerned, but we are at it and making sure that the justice soon must prevail.
President of AMCU, Joseph Matunjwa, is yet to speak today. The official program is yet to begin. We have not seen also the wreath laying. We know that every time when there is a commemoration, we would see the families and the widows of those that were shot by the police in 2012, having that session of wreath laying. But also there will be an update with regards to has there been any progress with regards to justice among others, but also ensuring that families are taking care of the children of those that died in that day, the survivors as well, with regards to the commitment that we made, Hugo. But right now, the official program, it's yet to begin. We see people coming in numbers, mine workers affiliated to AMCU, some of the community members that are living closer to where the incident happened here at the Kopi. And as soon as that official program starts, we will give you an update together with our viewers.
Refuwa Sibuku coming to us from Marikana, where mine workers have gathered to commemorate that untimely passing of 34 mine workers. Tragic event that happened 14 years ago.
Welcome back. Well, 2 foreign nationals will make a first appearance in the Durban Magistrates Court after being arrested for attempting to gain entry into the SADC event. Police say a total of 3 individuals have been arrested for trying to circumvent the summit's accreditation and access control processes. Let's take you there live. Newsroom Africa's Tubani Dlamini standing by with the details of that story. So, Tubani, good morning. What exactly happened?
Good morning, Michelle. Well, the accusation from a statement released by the South African Police Service on behalf of the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure, the 2 Congolese nationals attempted to gain entry at the Durban ICC, where the SADC heads of state meeting happens this week. They attempted to do so on Saturday using accreditation not issued to them and belonging to another person. Now, they do face charges of fraud and the contravention of safety at a sports and recreational events Act of 2010, in which it relates to the, of course, gaining entry into a space that is authorized, needs authorization, but doing so without the authorization. Now, earlier on in the week, there was a Zimbabwean national who was, of course, charged as well, caught for attempting to gain entry at the Durban ICC. Now, he was doing so under the guise of being a performing artist. Now, he faces charges of being in South Africa illegally. We do expect the 2 Congolese men, or rather 2 Congolese individuals, to appear today in court at the Durban Magistrates Court. And I do want to bring another dimension into this story, Michelle, and that is the fact that NetJoins says that they are aware that there are protests that are being planned for this week, and that while they protect the right to protest, they will not tolerate actions of criminality, intimidation, as well as violence. Certainly, a tight security perimeter around the Inkosi Albert Luthuli International Convention Center here in Durban.
Yeah. All right. So obviously security would have been tightened given those events and given the number of heads of states who will be gathering there at the ICC. Tobani, thanks very much for that update.
The November local government elections looming, the ANC is today putting housing, water and electricity under the spotlight. The briefing comes as service delivery remains a key voter concern, while coalition politics continues to shape local government. Juliet Joseph is at Luthuli House ahead of that briefing. A very good morning to you, Juliet. So some of these basic service delivery issues would normally target the heartstrings of residents when a party speaks about their importance. But as the gentleman that Sipho was speaking to now saying there's been so many unfulfilled promises, how does this then land with potential voters?
A very good morning to you too, Katlego, and that is exactly what the ANC will be ensuring, that the message goes out there for voters to continue putting their trust in them as a party. And now this briefing for today will be focusing on those issues that matter most to voters when they head to the polls in the November
month, and these issues including housing, electricity, as well as water. You'd understand there have been a number of protests in this year alone over water issues, water outages, due to what Rand Water, the bulk supplier, alludes to the aging infrastructure in the Joburg area especially, and also a growing population that has resulted in the city and other areas also having a shortage of water, with also water experts such as WaterCan coming forward to say that. But government knew all along that this was a growing population, but instead neglected important infrastructure. So some critics speaking to about how government has been neglecting infrastructure and how they could have planned better, but government also working hard in ensuring that issues around water do not continue to, make residents obviously suffer. You would understand that just last month the president did launch that escalated water national plan in Hammanskraal and other provinces. So government working when it comes to water issues and making sure that residents or the country in fact does have sufficient water supply, and also with situations such as the decommissioning or the delayed projects like around the Hurstville Reservoir that have resulted in also exacerbating that issue of water. There are plans around that. So the ANC will be giving progress reports on water issues today. Another issue that they will be giving a report on or updating us on, Katleho, is the issue of electricity. I mean, South Africa has enjoyed days of not having to face load shedding. However, there are areas, different provinces, where people go day by day without seeing the lights. I mean, there are also areas where protest action, especially in the south, people protest on ongoing power cuts. We also have the electricity tariffs also being increased as effective of July. So people still dealing with the pain of having to pay so much for their electricity, and also the unbundling as well, and also plans to hand over, electricity to private ownership, which would obviously result in the poor having to spend more. So those are some of the other issues that the ANC will be also updating and unpacking and discussing here today at this briefing at Lituli House. As you can see, another one is the housing issue. You'd understand that about 2.6 million housing units forms the backlog of the housing issues in South Africa. In fact, the ministers just are starting to arrive as we speak. In the next hour, they will be briefing on that. But on housing as well, also a lot of people, millions of South Africans that are still waiting for title deeds, and others still waiting for houses. About 4,000 informal settlements that still are in the country. So we will be looking forward to hear what they're going to be saying on housing and how to deal with this 2.6 million backlog. But also this will, the briefing today will also focus on the ANC, the party's political standing. You'd understand that it did kind of lose some power from the 2016 local elections. The ANC kind of did see a drop, and just to quickly double check on those figures, Katleho, the ANC, if you're looking at its trajectory, they went under 54% in 2016 and to 45.6% in the 2021 local government elections since 1994. So that decline has fundamentally really changed the politics of local government. We've been seeing obviously coalitions being formed and also hung councils. So they've already been vocal about forming coalitions, not wanting to be part of a coalition and just wanting that outright majority. But also an opposition leader, the DA, is taking the same stance, strangely, even though both parties do form part of the GNU, but saying they want to govern alone. So we will be listening to the service delivery issues that are crippling the country and how ANC is wondering or how they were planning to win the voters back, and also to just understand, get a sense of their political standing at the moment, Katleho.
All right, a number of issues for the ANC to get through in just about an hour. That's Julia Joseph outside the ANC headquarters in the Johannesburg CBD.